oneliner. That's what I said earlier, but hey, it's a show where we talk to comedians about their tattoos, and today we have a comedian on the air who's super hilarious, super funny. I love him very much. His name is Zac Elk. You're going to love this episode because he's got a badass sleeve. He's a nice guy. He loves wrestling. Welcome to One-Liner, the show where we talk to comedians about their tattoos. I have a very wonderful special guest on today. He's very special because not only is he a good friend and good people, but we basically started at the same time.
I feel as if you were like a year or two in front.
A year before,
because you were already hosting at Flappers Claremont.
Yeah, which was still fairly early, but still, yeah. Because how long have you been doing it?
Like, I want to say I dabbled my feet in 2013, but I started and was gun-ho in 2014.
I did the same thing. I did a mic in 2008, a mic in 2010, and then 2012. I was like, all right, let's keep going, March 2012. But you're doing really great stuff, so congrats on all the amazing work. You have tattoos, which is why you're on the show. But a lot of comedians, I feel like, have like goofy tattoos, like funny ones. Yours is like intense and beautiful and like deep. It's not just like here's just a cat, you know what I mean, or like I'm gonna get a cheese block on my arm. Yours is like cool. So show us what you got.
So I got a half sleeve for my first tattoo. There's three themes that are going into it, and the major theme is it's all intertwining into support your local artists.
For sure.
Because the girl is based off of a album cover from a band in Long Beach called Bella Novella. They were one of my first concerts I ever saw.
Cool.
And they weren't even like the headliners. They were like the features.
Act,
yeah, and so that was.
I feel like that's how Coachella and like music festivals were for me for a long time. Like you go for the headliner, but then you fall in love for like the opening act, and you're like, nah, you guys, I'm gonna support you.
You're like, who is this Tame Impala in like 2011?
I will buy that merch. Yeah,
definitely. And then the other one is kind of this Van Gogh-ish art.
Okay.
And it's from James Eads. He's an LA artist.
Cool.
And I just decided to merge the two worlds, and the person that did it is based out of LA. He's originally from Russia, but his name is Konstantin. Yeah, support your local artists.
That's so dope. So this is what's insane about like sleeves like this is yours is on the outside, but it, like curves in a little bit to this like divot right here. How much did this suck? Because I just got like not even the back of my knee, just like above the back of my knee, and I was like, this is horrible. I hate everything.
See, I wanted to do inner arm, but then Konstantin was like he was. I felt like as if he was like some sort of like Russian spy. Because he was like,
you don't want that.
And I was like,
no, I wanted to complete the picture.
He was like,
it hurts a lot.
And so like, as soon as he got to these arrows and like the staff right there, I was like, okay, you're right.
You're good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, like you have to trust your tattoo artist. Like I'm always very like, here's an idea, like run with it, however you want to like mess with it or like, you know, have fun. But sometimes they're like, oh, you want it on your ribs? No, you don't. This would look great on your calf, or this would look great on your arm. No, we're not going to do this on your ribs.
You're like, I'll take your word for it.
So, when you say like support your local artist, and that's kind of like the theme and the vibe of your tattoo, like was there like a moment you're like, I really want to get something on my body that's permanent to like show this? Like, did you go to like an art show, or was it just like comedy really bad and you're like, people should get paid? Like, what was kind of like the inspiration for this, even though you kind of talked about it already?
Well, I will say the base of it was the girl, the artress, because one of my favorite songs is from Bella Novella, and it's like called The Drifter. And so the theme, like the lyrics of it, is like just think of it like a zombie apocalypse, and like a girl finds this guy. It's like the end of the days, and like they're only two surviving. Instead of them being like nihilistic,
but you still need consent. Just a heads up. Last people on Earth, you still need consent.
Even the zombies will be like, "Hey, that's not something you should be doing." But yeah, it was just them two, and so the girl is like, she sees how this guy is like defeated,
Okay.
And she's trying to give him, through song, this very encouraging thing of just like, come with me, we'll find a way. The road is long, and I can't do it by myself.
Yeah.
And she just goes, there's an escape to this eerie place, explode into the stars, and leave it all behind. So.
I feel like this is way more deep than most of the answers we've been getting. Like, why'd you get that rat tattoo? Saw it in some flash. Thought it was fun. Had an extra $100 on me. It's like, oh, yours is like, no.
But at the
I know the
same
lyrics.
Have you had like one of those people in real life though? It doesn't have to be a comic where it's just like you ask them like, what does that tattoo mean? And they're like, let me tell you. Like, I feel as if I don't ever want to be that type of person, so I'm always like, it just means support your local artist. Like, always
Totally.
just pass it off. Yeah.
But it's nice when, because I think it's really interesting when people have tattoos that are very, like kids' drawings or, I don't know, anything where it's like, there is an opportunity to have that discussion. And there's an opportunity to like, I don't know you, but I like that ink. Tell me about that. And you become best friends. You start talking about how much you cried in the 4 hours it took to do the sleeve. So that's cool. I have a question for you. So one of the reasons why I think we vibe really well, and we've been vibing really well for a long time, is you are also a big wrestling fan.
Yes.
You're a big wrestling fan. Tell me what your favorite wrestling tattoo is. Because like Aleister Black has a ton of cool stuff. Kofi has a stuff on his like back. I think Seth Rollins has like another back tattoo.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens has like the sleeve. He has a sleeve now. He used to have just the bowl, like the rock bowl. But now it's like all animals.
One of my coworkers was actually mentioning that he was like adding it because of a zoo. Like apparently his kid
He loves zoos. Yeah, he was posting pictures at zoos. Yeah.
So like if you look into his sleeve, it's just a bunch of animals that his kid likes.
Aww,
Yeah.
that's cute.
And that's what his entire body is like representative of his kids, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Well, even his knuckles, or maybe it might be this knuckle, maybe one of them, but it's like the two initials of one grandfather and the two initials of the other grandfather. Like it's very like family oriented.
Oh man.
He has a K somewhere. I think it's on his ankle. But like the K is for his wife. I think it's like Karina or something.
Whoa.
And then she has a K for him, Kevin. So like all of his tattoos are very like family based.
At least they're not like there's not a third lover in the mix, or else
That'd be great. Yeah. Why'd you have your nipple tattooed with that? Don't worry about it. You don't have to commit to it.
They just grab their white hoods. They're like, well, we got to roll out case.
Would you say the Kevin Owens like sleeve is kind of like your favorite?
No, I would say actually, because it's iconic. The Rock, the Brahma Bull.
Yeah. Word.
It's
Which sucks. It's like hidden now, kind of. I don't know if he covered it up, but it's definitely like
lost.
it's not the main thing anymore.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the type of person where it's just like it's generic.
Yeah.
But The Rock was my favorite wrestler growing up, and then I became a Stone Cold guy. But still, it's just like The Rock was iconic.
He's the man. Yeah.
And that wasn't just a tattoo. That was his logo. He wore it on his like shorts. He wore it on his shirt.
He had the Brahma Bull belt for a while, like the
Yes.
smoking nostril bull belt.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, because Steve Austin had the skull one, the smoking skull one, and I feel like that got all the love, but the Rock one should have gotten all the love. Let's be honest.
Definitely.
Are you considering getting more tattoos down the line, or it's like you're very happy with this, and you're like, I kind of want this to be just like my thing?
The next one for sure is kind of be like, I know it's opposite because like don't they want to start small and then go bigger?
I think it depends on the person.
Right.
I know some people who are like, oh, never gonna tattoo before. Give me a sleeve. Give me a back piece. And you're like, I started out with a 5-minute little line work of a bat. You know what I mean? Like, I have a tiny rocket. That was my first one. That was it. You know what I mean?
The next one for sure is going to be like the cherry on top for this, and it's Cloud Atlas. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm going to try to get it like a birthmark of a shooting star.
Oh, cool. That'd be super sweet.
Because like if you guys don't know what the movie is about, it's like past lives carrying karma into each life, and like the person that has the change of the next life has a shooting star. So it's just pretty much saying like be aware that you're like in charge of this life. Like be aware, consciously aware, because
we're also part of something bigger. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like your past family, your past lives, your past feelings, and the future.
Exactly.
As far as comedy goes, would you ever get a comedy tattoo? Would you ever get a funny tattoo? Not a comedy, like I'm a comedian, I'm a comic, I'm getting a mic or whatever.
Yeah.
Would you ever get a funny tattoo? Because I feel like your vibe is a little more
like,
Well, just serious when it comes to tattoos. Like, they need meaning.
No, definitely. I'm more of a serious guy, with like in that aspect. Even though as a person, I'm very bubbly.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
I was just talking. I did another episode right before this, and I was talking to their colleague. I'm like, oh, I want to see Zach after. They're like, oh, Zac Elk. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, oh man, I remember when he first started out. You loved Crystalia. So like, your on-stage persona was very like, here's another joke, and it was very like aggressive. I would have, not that can't be serious, but I would have never expected like the guy who I saw on stage who was like running around and like screaming and laughing to be like, no, I want to take things seriously when it comes to.
Oh my. Okay, well, no. First off, I tried getting into the stand-up because of like Bill Hicks. Like the first comic I ever saw live was Russell Brand.
Oh, you say Bill Hicks. I'm like, how old are you? Are you like in your like mid-20s? It's not possible. I was 4 years old. My parents took me to a Bill Hicks show.
No, I saw Russell Brand live, and like I always watched Bill Hicks and George Carlin.
Yeah.
So it was just like I wanted to go into like social commentary,
which makes sense because they're very cerebral, and I feel like you're cerebral. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like if you see my Instagram, I'm very cerebral. But then like at the same time, when I'm at an open mic, I'm like, how many like woke people are there trying to be comics? And so I feel as if comedy nowadays is like something that's supposed to be like you're trying to escape the real world. You're trying to go for the laughter, and you're trying to get away from like all the distractions, because this is like a distraction and it's a good one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's also, I look at club owners and the audience as my boss. You know what I mean? Like, we're professionals and we're going to work and they're your boss. Do you want to engage your boss in heavy conversation that can make it really like gritty and maybe not everyone's gonna like it, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do you want to like give them an hour of fun? You know what I mean? Like, I'm very pro fun. I'm not against political comedy. I'm not against like hard hitting. These are the facts. Let's change the world. Let's create dialogue through comedy, which is more palatable.
It can
I'm
be
all
done.
for it, but I also just like I want to distract you. You know what I mean? I don't want to like. It'd be great if I do think, but I guess I'm not that like smart to do that.
But to your original question, would I ever get a comedy tattoo? I think the closest thing I would probably get is like getting George Carlin tatted on me.
That'd be cool. That'd be super cool. He has a weird face though. I guess it's cool though because like you could get like a young George Carlin, and then as you get older, it would get more wrinkly. Just as he got more wrinkly, you'd be like, oh yeah, he looks.
And then his hair color would fade.
Yeah. Just a giant middle finger or something. Well, cool, man. Well, I'm super happy you got to be on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you tell the wonderful viewers where they can catch you? Do you have any like cool social media or web series or anything like that where they can catch you and stuff?
So I do a podcast with Mark Gonzalez called Fear LA Presents, Up in the Rafters. It's basketball based. If you want to follow me on comedy, it's I do a monthly show in Claremont. I want to say it's every third Sunday, but it kind of skips because of like the holidays and like Mother's Day coming up, Father's Day. We just had Easter, so we had to move it and we competed with Game of Thrones finale, which sucked. But
yeah, that's tough.
I was like, I would rather had Easter than the Game of Thrones.
I remember I run a mic, and during I guess it was baseball season, it was horrible because the mic starts at 8. But if the game just started at 8, or if they went into overtime, does
Extra
baseball
innings.
have overtimes? Extra innings, yeah. It'd be like, we'll start the mic at 9:30, guys. Awesome, just hang around. Everyone gets 3 minutes instead of 10. I'm sorry. You need to. Let's go. But cool, man. Definitely check out the podcast. Definitely check out his shows. Zac Elk, what's your social media?
Twitter, so it's Zac Elk. ITSZACELK, and then on Instagram it's Third Eye Kind. So like instead of the band Third Eye Blind, it's Third Eye Kind.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, brother.
I love you.
I love you. I love you. Thanks for watching. Yay. Ooh, cucumber melon.